What is going on, my dudes? Tystra here, back again with another Genshin Impact video. And as always, if you guys like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And as always, comment about what you thought about this video. Now, today's going to be a little different. We're going to be talking about some kind of extending on the banner changes that we were talking about, I'd say like 2 or 3 weeks ago, about what I would say is going to happen around like 3.0. But I also kind of wanted to go in depth and talk about each unit that I think is going to go into the general pool here after 3.0. Now, granted, this isn't confirming that these units are going to the general pool or if there's going to be a general pool update. However, if MiHoYo ever actually decides to put more units into the general pool, which I think would be an amazing thing for them to do, it would give the general pool more variety, and people would actually be wanting to summon on Wonderlust banners instead of just going, oh, hey, I got, Chi-Chi 10 times already. It would give them something to think about later on. So this is this is legit just a speculation video. This is not saying that this is going to happen. This is not to say that any units are going to the general pool banner, but this is what I feel will happen around 3.0 as one of the big shakeups to come to Genshin Impact. So let's go ahead and get into it. So as you can see, the first one we're going to really talk about, and these are actually two on this event wish, but we're going to talk about one of them first, and that is Venti. Now, Venti has only had one rerun since the beginning of Genshin Impact, and Venti was the first ever character that was an event wish that came to Genshin Impact. Venti is a fantastic character. If you haven't used him yet, he basically pulls enemies in with his ult, and it's just a tornado, and it pulls them in, makes them all in one group. I think Venti is a lot more fantastic than some people give him credit for, but I digress. This isn't about how good the character is. It's more so about, do they fit in the general pool? Now, the reason why I wanted to kind of bring this up was to also talk about this topic here, where is it? Boom. About how Venti and Goro are very feminine, I guess, in the sense, and how the Chinese government is actually wanting to put a stop, in the sense, to this stuff. So this is kind of just an excerpt from Reddit. Shout out to PCBS01. This past week, the Chinese government held a meeting to discuss their new regulation about feminine men. The topic proceeded to talk about how games without Chinese voice acting were betraying the industry and workforce, i.e. Azure Lane and Arknights, how materialistic storylines aesthetic from Japanese games were antithetical to the Chinese guidelines, FGO, on Klee. And finally, they said that Genshin Impact male characters Venti and Goro were examples of feminine men who needed to be changed. So, as much as I hate to say it, sorry, go ahead and go back here. You saw another character right there, but as you see, it's not really up to us if this is something that that Venti is going to change or Goro's going to change. It looks like it's actually going to be up to the Chinese government. So in that sense, it's either going to be a change that warrants like a massive overhaul, or these characters are going to be less in the spotlight with a minor change to them. Um, and I think that with Goro already kind of being just in general pool as is, I think that gives Venti a little bit more of a chance to go into the general pool, just because of the fact that they're not gonna want to showcase Venti on like banners and stuff, which is kind of why I don't think there's going to be a rerun, which is a damn shame. Like, I think Venti's rerun at first, I like Venti more than Child. Let me just put it out there like that. Um, but I digress. That's just my personal opinion. The fact that there's a big chance they're not going to do another Venti rerun is very sad, which means that nobody is going to be able to get that character unless we put Venti into the general pool and just not put him on the cover of, the event wish, like say Wonderlust, So I truly, truly think that this will be one of the first characters they put into the general pool, because of the fact that Venti is a staple to Genshin Impact at this point. Venti has been out for a long time, obviously since the start of the game. And not only that, but with this whole government issue thing with Venti, we're kind of stuck with abiding by the laws, or not by laws, but by how government work. Which let me be honest, I don't like the decision they're making, but we don't have much of a say over here. So I digress. Not trying to get political here, but second character we're going to talk about is Klee. And now Klee is a little bit different. The only reason why I say Klee would be going to the general pool banner is because of how long she's been in the game as well. She was the second event wish. And not only that, but as much as I love Klee as a character, she has aged poorly. She still does decent damage if you build her correctly. And the fact that you could run cancel her bombs and start shooting them like basically rockets, or not rockets, but just a Gatling gun of some sort, makes her kind of niche in that sense. She can still do a lot of damage, but honestly, she's fallen off a lot. I think she needs a new like artifact set to kind of give her that boost of energy, kind of like how Chi got that boost of energy from Tenacity of the Millilith, and then Heart Flam or whatever the heck it is. But with those giving Chi a boost, it'd be awesome to see Klee get a boost from that. But I still say with how long she's been in the game that we need to see her in the general. Now, her only rerun was during June of 2021 last year because of the whole Golden Apple Archipelago storyline. And I thought that was a really good rerun. It was a good way to bring Klee into some of the newer players that were coming in, because Genshin Impact has been nothing but, growing in the sense of, how many people are coming in. So now we're going to get into the one where this might upset people saying this, but I hate Tartaglia. I dislike Tartaglia because of the fact that he's basically shoved down our throats. And I get it, some people really like him. I like his mechanics. I don't like the character overall though. I don't like using him personally. But this isn't about if I like him, this is about what's going on. Now, first time we ever got Tartaglia was in Christmas of 2020, and then after that, which is kind of surprising, it was only 4 months later we got Tartaglia again during April, and that was during the the Windbloom Festival with Venti, or around that time. Wrong one. But then we got a second Tartaglia rerun this last October, and that's when I was just like, okay, I'm tired of Tartaglia. Can we please figure out something? So my reasoning for Tartaglia to go into the general pool is because, one, he is a popular character, so people would summon on Wunderlust to get more of Tartaglia, and two, because we've already had 2 freaking reruns of him. I'm tired of seeing it, personally. But I do need 5 more, so if I see him in the Wunderlust and I get him, I'm like, well, I can't really complain too much. That wasn't too bad. So that's my thing. And it's going to be the same thing here with Zhongli. Now, before anybody gets on me, I don't hate Zhongli. I actually really love Zhongli. I think he's a wonderful character in general. But that doesn't mean that Zhongli shouldn't go into the general pool, because Zhongli is going on his second rerun here in, like, as of this recording, 8 days or 7 days, whatever. Now, Zhongli is a great character. I think that a lot of people would love to C6 him because he's definitely worth the C6. However, with the content getting harder and Zhongli's shields kind of questioned at this point, I can't go into leaks per se, but I will tell you that Zhongli is going to be a lot harder to run on your team because of how difficult and, how the scaling is going to go up. Now, I will say this as well. We've already seen a glimpse of it with the, the Wolfhounds, or whatever you want to call them. Rift Hounds. That's what they were. The Rift Hounds being able to kind of poison you. And that goes through shields. So, and we've already seen it with the bigger, fishy boys in Inkoinomiya that pierce through shields as well. So we already kind of see it, but it's going to get even worse, guys. I'm telling you right now. But we are getting a second event wish for him. He's getting his second rerun. And I feel that with the difficulty spike, and now he is going to be kind of hard to use in the later part of the game, I think that Zhongli should go into the general pool, especially since, with those things happening. Now, a lot of people would say Ganyu, and I don't think Ganyu should go yet. I think Ganyu will be in the next set of banner units to go after this character, which is Beidou. Now, before people get on me, understand this doesn't mean I hate Beidou. Beidou got better with Husk of Opulent Dreams. He is now fantastic. He is very viable, very good to use, and his first banner was only in December, just after Tartaglia. So it's not like he's bad. He's not bad at all. He's very good now. The problem is, and people might get on me and be like, are you kidding? That's your reasoning? I truly, truly think that the only reason why they would put Beidou into the general pool with this set is because it's 5 characters. Now, you could honestly switch this one with Ganyu, and I would be like, okay, it doesn't matter. I love Ganyu anyway, and I'd love Ganyu in the general pool. I'd summon for more Ganyu. But I don't think they'll put Ganyu in the general pool before they put Beidou. And the only reason why I say that is because Ganyu is a way more popular character right now. I think that when she's going to get a second rerun, which is highly possible, but her first rerun is coming here in about 7 to 8 days alongside the second Zhongli rerun. Beidou is not as popular as a character. Now, people can put me at the stake and all that stuff, or hang me at the stake, however it's called. But I'm just saying, it's how it is. Beidou, while a good character, is not exactly the most excitable character. And I don't think they would only put 4 characters into that because they already have 5, with there being Chi-Chi, Jean, Mona, Diluc, and Keqing. So there's already 5. I think they'll keep it even and put an even 10 in there. Unless they only want to do 2 at a time. Because if they only do 2 at a time, then you could just put Venti and Klee. And then in like around 3.4, 3.5, you could put Tartaglia, Zhongli. And then in 3.6 or going to 4.0, you could put Beidou and Ganyu. You could do 2, the whole time and be perfectly fine. I'd be okay with that as well. And that would give me more opportunity to summon on Wanderlust as well, because then we have a little bit of spacing. So, I don't know. I think that it would, money-wise and for everything that's going on with Genshin Impact, I think that adding these 5 characters to the general pool around 3.0 would be beneficial to the game itself, because then people would summon on Wanderlust more. They might even put in a lot more money, like, say, me wanting to C6 Venti. I'd be like, okay, I'll put in more money because, I have 5 stars. I still need to C6 from here in the originals, and I could still get Venti. I could still get Klee, Zhongli, Tartaglia, Beidou. It'd be perfect. It'd be an absolutely perfect scenario in my personal opinion. But I digress. It's all up in the air at this point. Again, this isn't gospel. This is just something I think they should do. Now, I do apologize to people who did watch this video and saw the little political thing about China. This is not to say anything about how I know what goes on in China. This is just what I saw as speculation on what goes on with Venti and Goro. But other than that, guys, that is it for today. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below what you guys think about everything going on with Genshin Impact. Do you think that, more Wanderlust banner units is a good thing, bad thing? What do you want to see in the future? Let me know in the comments below. And again, guys, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to entertain you. We will be back with another video later this week. As always, guys, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and be safe.